Hey there, this is Alicia from aliciacarlson.com. This video is for the woman who has been living that healthy and fit lifestyle, and you might be starting to feel a little bit burned out. That was me after I stepped on the stage for 2-figure competitions shortly after having my second child. I set this goal for myself because I wanted to see if I could actually follow through with a workout program or a diet or a nutrition plan for 12 weeks. I wanted to see if I had what it took to get on stage. Sure enough, I found out I was able to stick with it. I was able to get up on stage, kind of fight down those nerves, to get up there in a bikini in 4-inch heels, and thankfully I didn't fall on my face. But what I didn't realize is that living that kind of a strict, healthy lifestyle burned me out. I probably had never eaten so clean in my life. I had never been so committed to a workout program as I was then. And as much as I loved it, I also started to really despise it. I felt like it was, in a lot of ways, really causing me to choose between my family or my personal goals. I realized that issues with food and my relationship with food and myself became more fragmented, more disordered. I thought I was living a healthy lifestyle. From the outside, I looked healthy. I probably had never looked healthier in my life. But inside, mentally and emotionally, I was struggling. I was drowning. I want you to see that there are many ways to be healthy. That health doesn't look just like what we see on Instagram or what we see in social media. The reality is the ideal body, the goal body, changes over time, and it changes based on what other people identify as being that ideal physique for women. I remember when I was in middle school and high school at the time, it was being long and lean, and I am short and not typically very lean. I hold a little bit more muscle than a lot of people, and because of my shortness, my legs look like tree trunks. So trying to live into that ideal body of being long and lean was torture, because really there was nothing I could do to become taller. There was nothing I could do to change my genetics around how my body reacted to certain foods and certain workouts. So I want you to keep in mind that healthy looks different on everybody, and there is no one right way to have a body. I also want you to keep in mind that if you are feeling burned out and overwhelmed by the lifestyle that you're living to create the results that you want or that you think you want, or to maintain those certain physique results, that's probably not the lifestyle for you. It shouldn't feel like it's an extra job to figure out what you're going to be eating or getting your workout in. Your mind shouldn't be so wrapped and so riddled with what your body looks like and whether or not you've gained an extra half a pound or an extra pound overnight. You shouldn't feel like you have to get on the scale every single day, using that as an indicator for how the rest of that day is going to go, whether or not you're going to eat on plan or you're going to eat a little bit less. Finding a tribe and finding people that are like you, that understand where you've been, will be crucial. And that is one thing that I really was missing, is I didn't have anybody else that I could talk to. I either had people that didn't understand my crazy, obsessive, healthy lifestyle, or everybody else was involved in that crazy, healthy, obsessive lifestyle and didn't see anything wrong with it. So if you feel like you're kind of getting burned out, you don't know what to do, you want to reach out and find people that are like you. Find people that inspire you, that will help you kind of navigate all of the health and wellness BS that's out there. Connect with those people. One thing that's important to recognize is that the health and fitness industry, though we are led to believe that they are truly promoting a healthy lifestyle or wellness or fitness, it's all very narrow-minded. If you were to do a Google search on health and fitness or a healthy, fit woman, you're going to see a very, very narrow picture painted of what that looks like. For a lot of us, it might not even be attainable because we're not the right skin color, or we're not the right height, or maybe our bodies have a really hard time putting on muscle, or maybe no matter how hard you diet, how much you work out, you still can't get your six-pack to pop. As the consumer of health and fitness, you actually have the power. You can reject whatever it is that society is telling you need to look like in order to be deemed healthy or fit or to be living a wellness-based lifestyle, and recognize that you get to define your goals and you get to define what that looks like for yourself. You get to figure out what works for you. Is it walking? Is it swimming? Is it yoga? Is it a combination of running and weights or higher intensity? Whatever it is, you get to figure it out. You've got to be willing to be a little bit curious, maybe try some things you've never tried before, but at the end of the day, the healthiest and the fittest lifestyle is the one that you can maintain forever. It's the one that adds value to your life. It's the one that inspires you and makes you feel more confident, not the one that kind of is always beating you down and burning you out. It's also important to realize that there really is no best diet. The best diet, again, is the one that you can stick with for a long term. And oftentimes I see people say, oh, I'm just balanced. I'm eating a certain way, and then I go on vacation and I eat a completely different way. Or maybe I eat a certain way Monday through Friday, and then over the weekends, I'm kind of off the wagon. To me, that's not balance. That's still disordered eating. That's still dieting. Remember that your health is so much more than your appearance. You've got to also consider your mental, your emotional, your spiritual health. Think about those kinds of things. If you were to look at yourself as a whole right now, sure, you might be living in the body that you have always wanted to live in, but what did you have to sacrifice to get there? Are you emotionally filled up? Are you in a good space mentally? Do you have good relationships? All of those things matter when it comes to looking at your health. I want you to be empowered to make the decisions that are right for you, and that is ultimately going to be the thing that motivates you more than anything else. When we're trying to fit into somebody else's mold or meet somebody else's expectations, the motivation to do that can flee pretty quickly, because we realize that just as soon as we reach that level, just as soon as we reach that mark, they've likely raised the bar yet again. Most of what's out there from a health and fitness and wellness perspective is just diet culture. It's all designed to make us think that we've got to continue to work on ourselves, continue to better ourselves so that we'll be enough. And usually that leaves most of us feeling like we're always missing the mark. Again, think about the heart from which you're making your decisions. Is it a place of punishment or a place of nourishment? If it's a place of punishment, I really want to challenge you to flip that thinking. How can you start to make your decisions from a place of taking care of yourself and a place of nourishing and wanting to better yourself from a healthy place? Focus on habits over restriction. It's not about following the rules and being regimented and being super restricted, but rather it's about developing routines and rituals and habits that make it easier for you to make the choices that honor your body, honor your goals, and that align with your vision that you have for yourself. In my opinion, rules and restrictions are about fear and failure. Rules and restrictions keep us stuck, and it's about reaching perfectionism. When you switch from following rules and really restricting yourself into a more kind of compassionate place of creating habits, a place of self-control, that is really what starts to empower you, what starts to motivate you. The motivation that comes from following rules and restrictions and seeing results in the short term, that's going to flee. That's going to fade pretty quick. So when you get into the habit of creating habits, creating routines, things that actually excite you and that align with your vision and the things that really matter for you, that's what matters the most. Hopefully this helps you. I would love to connect with you. You can go ahead and leave me a comment below. If you are curious as to whether or not you're still struggling with diet type mindsets, I want you to head over to aliciacarlson.com. I will also leave the link below. Pick up your copy of the freebie there, and I can't wait to connect with you. I'll talk to you again very soon.